What's going on, Jerome? It's a beautiful Saturday. Birds are chirping and stuff, and it's time for another Vikings news dump. Your new love has arrived out of the blue, clear sky. So, I haven't really been like a country fan. I'm easing back in, but it was weird. So, I've been in charge of music at one of the poker games I go to, and the demographic, like 90s country, definitely hits it pretty good. KYO, know your opponent. Yeah, no people, right? And all of a sudden, it's like going through like the AI generated playlists of like 90s country. Then I realized I know every single one of these songs. And then it hit me. It's because I was sitting in the back of a car where my parents listen to country music all the time, smoking Chesterfields. That's a lie. I don't even know if Chesterfields were made in the 90s. Anyways, but you just, no car seat, which we used to be a proper country. I was probably sitting in the front seat. Hell, it was the 90s. But just like all the George Strait and Neil McCoy and I don't know, who else? Joe Diffie and John Deere Green. Like, I realized that somewhere in the deep recesses of my brain, I know every single one of these freaking songs, even though I haven't heard them in a while. It's weird. Anyways, it's fitting since it is Tennessee Titans week. And on top of the barbecue, you got the music, Nashville, all that stuff. Great graphic put up by the Vikings. Meet us in the music city. So there you go. I wonder why Nashville became the official capital of country music. Anyways, but yeah, the Vikings and the Titans getting it on. That's not the one we wanted to click on. There we go. Final injury report came out yesterday with designations. Vikings, outside of Will Rackard as well as Andrew Tapala Bagels, Vikings relatively healthy going in. So a couple of veteran days with Gilmore and Harrison, that's perfectly fine. Only one with a designation, not even just like any questionables or probables, just out. Gabe Murphy is in his 21-day practice window. We'll talk about him in a sec, but also you got Sling and Sam Darnold. You have Aaron Jones. You have everyone else who was limited throughout the week at points, returning to full on Friday. So that's a fantastic sign for the Vikings. And you're going to see this more as the 17-game season rolls along. And once they go to the 18-game season here in a couple of years, like, you will see players getting active rest days, being limited or just sitting out, mainly Wednesdays. But yeah. Also, speaking of Gabe Murphy, like we said, he's been ruled out, and he's currently in his 21-day practice window, which closes soon. Now, I actually think that there's a chance, even if Murphy is progressing back from his knee injury, I think that there's a chance that they could just leave him on season-ending injured reserve and not activate him to the 53-man roster, because it really is a numbers crunch on the Vikings defense at the edge, where so you got Van Ginkel, Gernard, Diamond Dallas Turner, Hottie Ward, Patch Jones second, Bo Richter, who they like a lot, and Andre Carr the second on the practice squad. And if they activate Murphy to the 53, you have to free up a roster spot, and likely it would be getting Richter back down to the practice squad, which, I don't know, do you want a chance getting him to waivers? And if Murphy is healthy and good to go, like, what chance does he really have of getting some playing time? So I think that it could just be behooving of them, even if the knee is good to go, keeping him on season-ending injured reserve, basically giving him a redshirt season and see what he does next year. Because they obviously think very highly of him. Got a huge UDFA sign-in bonus. The pride of UCLA can definitely get after things, but yeah, just give him a year. I'll go from there. Speaking of going from there, so Cam, Beasley, Bynum. I love that Bynum's basically become a household name just because of his turnover celebrations. And he's a high-end player. Would love to keep him in purple a long time. And he truly is a ball hawk on the back end. Also, he's not afraid to tackle, too. Did he lead the team in tackles last year? He was close. He was top 3. But Vikes fan page, when asked about extending a celebration streak, when I get one, I have one ready. So he's got one chambered. The celebrations, of course, a number of them have gone viral. Last week it was the ray gun breakdance. Before it was doing the worm last season. Then, of course, the Parent Trap handshake with the Metellus. I think that if I had to predict, I don't know, it's something with a cultural reference, obviously. Could it be the Carlton dance? I feel like that would be a good one, right? Or is it gonna be like what the Vikings have done before? Sitting in a circle for the Thanksgiving meal, play Duck Duck Gray Duck, which it is gray duck, by the way. If it's goose, no. Goose died in Top Gun. Oh, that might be too soon. Yeah, but either it's going to be like the Carlton or it's going to be like the Psy Gundam style. Hey, sexy lady. So when Gangnam Style was a big thing, that was the last time I really got into a Halloween costume. And we were at a costume. We were at a bar that had a costume contest, and I came in second. I think that's what soured Halloween for me. Why would I want to be anyone but myself? Anyways, speaking of anyone but, that's not a transition. Anyways, Will Levis, you remember he came out of the University of Kentucky last year, 2023, and we were like, okay, Vikings chilling at 23. If Levis gets there, big time arm, has all the measurables, looks like a quarterback, really good on tape. And even though he's a weirdo that puts mayo in his coffee and eats bananas backwards, it's just like, all right, he could be our guy. But the Vikings obviously passed on Levis. He fell out of the first round. The Vikings took Jordan Addison, which has been good at times on the field. Right, and the Tennessee Titans, who a lot of people thought the Titans would take him in the first round, they still get him in the second round, and it's been a roller coaster so far, which is fair. Teron Davenport, fantastic beat writer for the Titans, ESPN covering the Titans. Brian Callahan said he spent some extra time with Will Levis this week in preparation for the Vikings defense. They're going through film and working to show him answers to the tests. Callahan said they're trying to make sure they balance not having overanalysis paralysis. He can study all he wants. He could have 10,000 hours. He could go full Malcolm Gladwell on this thing. He's not beating Flores' defense. Flores is going to beat that ass. And it's just going to be fantastic. Like, we just need a full-on palate cleansing because the Vikings have had 4 tough games as of late, 2 losses, 2 unimpressive wins, just whooping that ass. Just 7, 8 sacks, couple of meatballs, and just go from there. It's going to be great. Also, a big part of that would be if Justin Jefferson's touchdown streak, drought, ended, which from a fantasy team, yes, certainly would be nice. Per Persuasion, per ESPN, Vikings wide receiver Justin Jefferson has gone 3 straight games without receiving a touchdown, his longest streak this season. Jefferson has not had a 4-game drought since 2022 when he went 6 straight games without a touchdown reception. So hopefully he gets back on the horse. The Titans being without L'Jarius Sneed, which we didn't even mention, but yeah, that's going to be a major part of it. Sneed's missing his 5th straight game. Also, speaking of beating that ass, the Titans are also down there starting right tackle Leroy Watson. So it's going to be good times there. So, yes, hopefully, please, a couple of my teams, I got the Darnold and Jefferson stack. It's a good thing that interceptions only count -1. That's all I'm saying. And also, speaking of getting after that ass, Jonathan Gard tied for 3rd in the league with pressures of 48. Look at Zach Allen getting down. I love it, man, even though he's a stupid Badger. But also, those throwback Broncos uniforms, they're nice. They're wasted on stupid-ass Sean Payton, but they're nice. Bosa has 49. Hendrickson has 52. Also, the fact that the Vikings have already had their bye, that does factor in. So we predicted... Put on the table, Grenard's going to lead the league in pressures. I think he'll have 100+ getting after things. Also getting after things. So getting after my last damn nerve. Adam Rank, fantasy football analyst, NFL.com, jabroni. Always hating on the Vikings. Rabid Bears fan. It is what it is. But NFL Network's game preview picks. So everyone's going Vikings, which makes me kind of nervous. But maybe in a way, Rank saved us because I feel like if this is a clean sweep, the Vikings obviously lose. That's what happens every single time. But also looking at some of these predictions, I mean, a lot of close games. DJ, field goal. Our guy Marcus 6. Bucky Brooks says 13 points. We'll take that. Patrick coming at you. Sure. Eric Edholm's leading the way. 1-point win. Un pointo. Por favor. Now, MJD, Maurice Jones-Drew. This might be some residual Jaguars-Titans hate, though. But he's got the Vikings 24-7. Rank has the Vikings losing to the Titans by field goal. I'll say this. If the Vikings lose to the Titans, I will eat this hat. I will eat this Jerome's hat. It's not as fun as chugging the Four Loko. If you're an OG Jerome, you remember that. But I'll just put it on the table right now. If the Vikings lose the Titans, I will consume this hat, and I assume that I will have gastronomical distress as I pass this, which it will be like a Sam Darnold pass, just errant and bloody and very uncomfortable. Wow, that got deep. Anyways, so if you're concerned about football, like, you can shut the video off now because I'm just going to riff on this. So we've been a Costco family a long time, and the wife's very good at these things. So she found a Sam's Club membership for like $7. Like huge annual discount, like $7 for an annual discount. And we thought, okay, I mean, they're both equidistant to us, so may as well check it out. I feel like the government has just been lying to you. Or I feel like the influencers have been lying to you, because if you look on like the gram, there's like 17,000 Costco influencers. Here's what's at Costco this week. Oh, look at this. You don't see many Sam's Club, right? And I understand that Sam's Club isn't sexy because Sam's Club is basically just a warehouse Walmart. But I'll say that Sam's Club is just as good as Costco, and I'm a huge Costco fan. Now, there are subtle differences. I feel like there's pluses and minuses on both sides, but Costco has more organic products, I guess. And also, I saw that Costco generally deals with USDA Prime meat, a lot of USDA Choice at Sam's Club, but that's a minor distinction. But I actually kind of like the Sam's Club experience, mainly because it wasn't just jam-packed with people in every single aisle. I mean, we went at like 11 a.m. on a Friday, the wife and the youngest, and there were samples. There wasn't a rush of people all over the place, and the deals were still there. I mean, we got the daughter an awesome sweatshirt for $5. It's kind of awesome. So I don't know, like, I'm still a Costco hoe, as like some of the influencers say, but I kind of lean into Sam's Club a little bit. Plus, they got the $5 chickens. The only drawback is, so Costco and like the $1.50 hot dog, right, and like the slice of pizza for cheap too. Like their dining area is very inviting. It's very like 90s McDonald's play place-esque, right? The Sam's Club dining area straight up looks like a prison, right? It just like, I don't know, the vibe was just off. Like it looked like one of those places where, well, it looks straight up like a prison, and like the ones where it have like the plates soldered onto the table, where all they do is just spray it down with a fire hose afterwards. Maybe that's just in movies. I don't know, but I've definitely warmed up to Sam's Club, and I feel like there's a smugness with Costco people looking down on Sam's Club. It's basically the same stuff at the same price, man. So anyway, that's initial analysis. I'm sure that it'll get picked apart, but I'm perfectly fine with that. Anyways, that is it. Very important stuff on this Saturday. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skol, production value.